Hello and welcome back to Factorio Fixit. This is episode 100, very special event, and let's get cracking. Today we are playing a very special factory. You know what it is by the title. But yeah, let me explain how I actually found these. These are my old factories. I went on holidays over Christmas there, and I was playing Factorio on my laptop, and I noticed this weird numbering system for saves. And then the penny dropped. These are my old saves from when I first bought the game. Now, I bought the game and I started playing it on my main computer, this computer that I record on. I played one factory, and then I cracked the shits because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't understand, I couldn't do anything, and I moved to the laptop because it was a little bit more comfortable. I could sprawl out on the lounge, and I could look at Let's Plays on YouTube and watch some people play the game. Now, what I plan to do is I plan to do a video for each factory, and possibly one more just running through the evolution of me as a bit of a special event, because it was actually quite cool looking back through it. Well, let's get cracking. Oh, you also notice that this is from 9.8. Now, if I'll actually tell you what the date is on this little save here. The date is 21/6/14, so that is over 6 months ago. Alright, let's get cracking. So this is the base, no biters, peaceful mode. I turned it right down to try and make it easy. This was a 3-hour base. This took me 3 hours to build, and looking back I'm like, wow, was I ever that bad? Yes, I was that bad. So let's go and have a look. This is my iron smelting. It's doing quite a good job. I'll come back and talk about the coal belt. And down here I have my copper smelting. And you notice that they're fairly far apart. Everything's kind of spaghetti, which is the biggest problem with beginner bases. I talk about building in straight lines and giving yourself enough room. I did neither in this one. Yeah, anyway. So you can see that I've got a very basic setup. I got to oil, started doing it, and then cracked the shits and moved on. Started a new factory, tried to improve upon what I'd learned here. Now you'll notice that I'm breaking a pretty major rule here. I'm putting iron gear wheels onto the iron plate belt. Now, if this factory went anywhere, you start to get into the mid game. You'll quickly discover that having 1/2 of a belt for iron plate just isn't going to be enough. You're never ever going to carry enough throughput on 1/2 of a belt. So that was a pretty big thing, but I was always thinking like, ooh, I could put this on that belt and route it down here, and ooh, I could have this on that belt and route it over here. Now you'll notice that I have the assembler for inserters just here, and it's being picked up. Now this is before I realized that oh my god, before I realized that, well, an inserter would actually just pick up what it needed. It didn't have to be a smart inserter. So what I'll do is I'll just change these over, because they don't need to be that. And it's also before I realized that yeah, that's kind of not needed. This is actually kind of cool, fixing my own base. Now, in this, I'm not sure how far I'm going to go, but yeah. Anyway, I've got green science up and running, as you can see. As you can also see, I've got corners everywhere, so we'll straighten that out, because that's no good. Give me that. Okay. We'll do that there and that there. Well, actually, yeah, this is fewer corners by 1. There we go. Now you'll notice that the gear wheel factory just isn't keeping up right now. We won't research anything, so the reason I know that is because you can see here nothing's being done, because this isn't getting any gear wheels, everything else is backed up. So what we need to have a look at is see if we can improve our gear wheel production. Okay, we're waiting for those plates, which is going to become a theme to this this playthrough, I think, or this factory anyway. Okay, you can see now we're doing much better. Doing much better there. Okay. What I'll do is I'll just drop this off. Okay, there we go. So we've got we've got that flying through. How is that getting? Oh, okay, I see. So you can see I'm drawing from here and also from around here. Very, very interesting. Rightio. So this will all start to back up, and that'll be hunky-dory. Now this also needs to come back by one step so we don't waste resources. Now this belt system is absolute spaghetti. I think that for the most part it would need a major redesign to sort it out. The way in which this factory has been designed just isn't very good, to be honest. Like it's very much a new person's factory. You really tell I hadn't played for much at all. Yeah, then. So we'll just try and increase a few things, tweak a few items, and then call it quits. The thing that I really learnt in this factory was how hard routing all the belts was around. I remember that being the biggest issue that I had. I really couldn't wrap my head around getting the belts to where they needed to go, and that kind of really started the whole get organised, build in straight lines kind of thoughts. Before this, during this playthrough, I'd been very much focused on trying to. Oh, sorry, let me rephrase that. When I started this factory, I'd been trying to really make it so that things ran on the same belts, and it's not the best idea, to be honest. The thing that you want to do is just make it easy on yourself. I really started to get that through my brain in this one. Okay, there we go. It's ugly as sin, but it's added 50% production to our whole operation. Now, I'll just delete that. I can do this a bit better here. Okay, 1, 2. Gap. 2. There we go. Job done. Here. Need a couple of extras. And then we might go up and have a look at our iron plate situation. What do we need here? More copper. That's ironic. Never need more copper. Okay. And that's why I like placing them like that. Now, we'll get the fuel through. There we go. Now we'll get the raw copper through. Brilliant. We've got some more. No, we don't. We need more of this. Here we go. So that, we're going to need 3, aren't we? And the reason I know that is because one of these will support a steel furnace, and one of these will support 2 stone furnaces. So that's how I know how many I need there. We'll do that there, and we'll do this one here. We'll spin that around so that we can get this kind of look happening. Okay, job done. Some power poles. There we go. We're off to the races. That's all sorted. We're just going to need a couple of long-handed inserters, and then we'll be right as rain. I must say, I don't rate what I was doing back then, but it's when you put it in the context of seeing the next couple of factories, you start to see where my thinking was at, which is really interesting. I really enjoy this game, and I think that okay, let's just check something here. Yeah, okay. So that seems to be all okay. Gear wheels are starting to back up, you'll see, and you'll see that this is trying to be a what's its face. Now it's curvy as, which just doesn't look right. To me, it just isn't right. So we'll just see if we can straighten it out a little. Now, I dropped some belt onto here accidentally. Pick that up. Wonderful. Now what I need to do is I need to... Oh, this is before I realised how good lights were too. The lights didn't really come along until I actually started recording these things for YouTube, and oh, I put that right in the wrong spot. Oh, what a goose I am. Now, so we need to get it on the other side of the track, so we can just do a little bit of a cheaty thing there. Okay, same thing. Right, there we go. So that is that sorted. The belts are... Well, actually, hang on a minute. I could completely straighten this out. How good's this, right? This will be excellent. Nope, no I can't. Not like that I can't anyway. Bugger. There we go. Problem solved. Okay. Got a bunch of stuff in the way now. Oh, there's even an iron plate. How wonderful. Okay. So that is that all done and dusted. Just to grab that. Put that down. So you can see here I'm using a smart inserter to separate out iron, and this is actually something Zoom Avoid was thinking in the same vein in his little Let's Play, and it's not a good idea. Generally you want to keep these lines so that they're one thing and one thing only. It just makes it easier on your brain. Down here we see that I've got copper cable on a belt, never a good idea. But I was yet to learn of the issues I was going to have there. Now this needs a bit of an amendment. In the form of a splitter. Okay. Now I can do this type of splitter because I've only got things on the left hand side, so that'll just feed the remainder through the factory. Happy days. Now then, this kind of factory would you'd get well, because of the gear wheels, you'd really struggle. They will kill things, absolutely kill things. If I was to continue playing this factory, what I would do is actually rip that up, turn this into a single kind of setup where it's just everything is iron on this line, and then have gear wheels built independently as I normally do for my my playthroughs. So we've got, now I'll explain the coal line because it took me a moment to work out what the heck I'm doing. I've got a couple of patches of coal. Now what I'm doing is I'm running it up here to my smelters. Okay, that's all well and good. You see how it curls around and backs around on itself and then comes down here? That's because I was wanting to go, okay, 50-50, but if the boilers have, oh sorry, the furnaces have too much, it actually reroutes it back down to the boilers. And you'll notice that I love my offshore pumps. Get amongst it. It's they're awesome. It takes me back to the days of SimCity when you just like spam down water pumps because your city couldn't get enough water, so you just like spam an entire lake so you could try and cover the water, but never worked. So yeah, that's that. Oh, this isn't working because that doesn't have a little what's it there? And you can see that there's lots and lots of little inefficiencies in this factory. Things that, you know, with time and experience I did learn about. And as my neurosis become fully fledged and turned into from mere anal retentiveness into full-blown OCD. Or CDO as we call it in Factorio. Now this very interesting situation here, I would say that we need something. Because this is no good here, right? So what do I need to do? This is what I need to do to get this to work. ugly as sin, I know. Right, so that's that. Now up here what I'll do, just grab another splitter, as this will allow greater belt storage. And these are all minor tweaks that are kind of skirting the issue, really. This factory has big issues, big problems, and you would need to redesign the entire thing to fix it. You notice that even my oil setup, it's going to be way too close. It needs to be up here, it needs to be out of the way so that I can actually do stuff with the factory. Now that's all good. Okay, so this here, yeah. So here is a good example of actually where things are just plain too close. I've got my main bus line, such as it is, running down here, and it really just needs to be a couple of squares over, and then it can avoid this little curly loop thing. If we rip up this gear factory again, same. We're working on the same issue, different solution, same result. We can, work in straight lines, run the main bus down here. If I did my time again, this is actually a pretty nice seed, so I'd probably put all my furnacing here and then run the base out here, or furnacing here, run the base north, depending on what kind of mood I was in. So that's all good. That's all good. I don't know what is going on with the curves. Issues. So I think I might stop this video here. In the next Factorio Fixit, we're going to come back and we're going to see what Save 2 was like for my my progression. Should be interesting. I look forward to seeing you then. If you have a factory you'd like me to play, be sure to send it through to rootnegative@gmail.com. I'd love to see it. Doesn't have to be a good factory. I've just played one of my first factories, so you can see where I've come from. And I'm not ashamed to show it, because it shows that I didn't just become a really understand the game overnight. I wouldn't say I'm a master, but I do understand the game now. That didn't happen overnight. It took time, and this is where it started. So thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you in the next episode.